Welcome, I'm Ashley of The Ugly Sheep, and today we're going to talk about staple length. So staple length is really important when you're spinning, and in my spinning groups I see a lot of questions about it. So today we're going to talk about what is staple length, how do you find it, and more importantly, what does that mean for your spin? So for starters, staple length is just the length of an individual fiber or small group of fibers. It's easier to show group of fibers, so that's what I'm doing. But the staple length is the very top to very bottom of this one fiber. And they can range in sizes. The cotton I have here is maybe an inch. This flax is actually the toe flax, and I know this because of the size. This is only maybe 6 inches, 8 inches, whereas lined flax can be 2, 3, even 4 feet long. So obviously that has serious implications for your spinning. It doesn't really even matter whether it is a plant fiber like the cotton, or an animal fiber, protein fiber, like these alpaca or this wool that I have. The staple length is going to determine how closely you can have your hands together while you draft and still draft successfully. So let's see, this white shows up a little easier. If this is your staple length here for the fiber you're using, you, as you're pulling the top here, need to make sure your hand is not holding this bottom of the staple. So when you're drafting, you want your hands at least this far apart to be able to draft and not fight yourself. If it's closer, you're not going to be able to draft because you're going to be holding onto the fibers that you're trying to pull. And if they're too far apart, you're going to be pulling more than one staple length, and so you're going to either pull your fiber supply apart, or you're going to get very lumpy yarn because you don't have as much control over how much of the fiber you're pulling to make your yarn. So how do we find our staple length? I am going to use this comb top as an example. I think that having a nice prepared is the easiest. You can definitely, if you have locks, it's the entire lock. If you have a whole fleece, you would want to pull one lock off of that. I don't have one up here to demonstrate the lock, but it's a very similar process to finding your staple length on your comb top. For comb top though, we do want to pull this top part out and put that aside. We are not using that as our staple length because that could have been cut in the manufacturing process as they were cutting lengths of fiber to sell. So now that we have the nice wispy top here, we are simply going to pull, and you can see that this is a fairly small staple length compared to even the alpaca. So that informs how much space we need between our hands. Now this is a somewhat coarse fiber, and I think part of that has to do with the dye process to get it this vivid yellow. So you can probably get away with a farther apart hand position because, as you can see as I'm pulling it, the fibers kind of pull each other a bit. So you can probably have your hands farther apart to draft than just one staple length. But you definitely cannot have them closer than this staple length, otherwise you will be fighting yourself as you spin. So I hope this, even though it's a short video, is informative and helps you on your spinning journey. If you have additional questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them or make a video to answer them if it's not really easy to just verbalize. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.